If they get another, I'm from rather the lantern, and if we get another um, Turgid on the board, yeah, they see that another Turgid isn't going to help them because we could just discard the tokens, and Turgid can't possess them. So, okay, I feel like we got lucky there after having such ill fate early. Golgari deck here, something very different. Has a few themes that I've used before, but it's really pretty unique. Um, so we have a couple things going on. We have Hateful Eidolon, which pairs up with Myers Grasp and then we have Luris, so you can be bringing those things back over and over and over again. And as a backup plan, we have two Call of the Death Dweller, so we can bring Luris back and/or these type of things. So, um, yeah, so we have that little kind of front line of defense. We have three Village Rites because there's certain things we want to get on the board. We want to get Clackbridge Troll. We want to get Massacre Worm on the board. So Village Rites is a good card draw mechanism. Then we have a bunch of little weaklings going on here. So we have Swarm Shambler. We have two of those, and it comes on the battlefield with a single 1/1 counter on it. And whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 insect token. So it just or create, yeah, that's the answer. So, and you can put tokens on this as well by tapping it and paying one. Then we have the four Hateful Eidolons, 1-drops. And then we have four Scoot Swarms, 3-drops. And once you get 6 lands on the board, you're not making insects. You make insects until 6 lands. And then beyond that, you make additional Scoot Swarm token copies. So then once that starts happening, you're creating tons of these Scoot Swarms. You can also bring Scoot Swarm back with Call of the Death Dweller. So you're not limited to 4 necessarily. So then again, Myers Grasp, -3/-3 enchantment, reusable with Luris and Eidolon. Whenever you have Eidolon on the board and you kill something with Myers Grasp, or for that matter, you have one of your enchantments on a creature that gets killed. If Eidolon's on the board, you draw a card for each aura that was attached to any creature on either side of the board that dies. Okay, so yeah, 2 Call of Death Dwellers, 3 Soul Shatter takes out the highest converted mana cost creature or planeswalker, 2 of the Hydra's Growth, and these can really be a game changer as you get a +1/+1 counter on the creature next turn, and they double each turn. So these things get wildly big. So it gives you an opportunity to just get something totally out of control. The 4 Scoots, 3 Luris. We have 1 Sarulf Realm Eater, and this is cool too with the +1 theme here. So whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So you can see using Myers Grasp, you're going to pump these +1/+1 counters on it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if Sarulf has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with a converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. Now that includes our creatures, folks, so you have to be a little careful, but this can be a real cool card. And even if it doesn't fit that you're using that, this is getting big. This thing gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so and you could, for example, you could throw Hydra's Growth on it, and that would be devastating. Then we have 2 Revenge of the Ravens, and this thing has kept me in games and won me games with this deck. Just punishes the opponent for attacking. Then we have 2 Binding of the Old Gods, these sagas. What can I say? They're amazing, these Kaldheim sagas. And comes on, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Second turn, search your library for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. Third, creatures you control gain death touch till the end of turn. Then the real money makers here, these things can win the game, but the real money makers here coming in mid-late game, Clackbridge Troll, it creates 3/01 goat tokens and has haste and trample, and it's an 8/8, 5-drop. And at the beginning of combat, your combat turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature, most likely a goat. If a player does, tap the troll, gain 3 life, and draw a card. So excellent life gain, card draw, and eventually devastating creature. There is a secondary thing here, though. So then we have Massacre Worm. So say you get when it works out perfectly, you drop Clackbridge Troll, put some goats down. Next turn, you come in with Massacre Worm, you kill the goats, and anything else the opponent has that is -2/-2. They lose 2 life for every creature destroyed that way. Actually, any creature that dies when Massacre Worm is on the board, the opponent loses 2 life. So a lot of good synergy here. If you have Massacre Worm on, you bring this on. You bring on a Massacre Worm's on the board, you bring in the second troll or the first troll of the game, whatever. Anything that is dying when you put a Mire's Grasp on something, the opponent loses 2 life. So that's a potent card. Okay, and that's all there is to the deck. Quick look at the lands. 1 Castle Lockflame for some card draw. Swamp, 9 of them. 8 forests. We've got a single Darkbore Pathway for choosing green or black. A single Skemfire, which you can sack it, plus 2 of any color mana, 2 black mana, 1 green mana, and tap and sack it, and up to 1 target creature you don't control gets -2/-2 till end of turn. Create 2 1/1 green elves warrior tokens and activate this only when you could play a sorcery. It's not ultra potent, but it can make a difference. You can take something off, or make it weak enough to take off with Mire's Grasp, etc., etc. It's just an option, and what you're sacrificing is that it comes in tapped. Otherwise, it just functions as a green land. And then we have 4 Fabled Passage, and these are in here specifically, to give us choice of color, but also to just make Scute Swarm go totally crazy, because if you have 6 mana down and you drop a Fabled Passage, or it's the 6th mana Fabled Passage, then you get to trigger the Scute Swarm evolution twice. So yeah, and there's 4 of those in here. I'm tempted to put an Evolving Wild, but I don't want to slow down the works too much, because this deck has to survive the early game, and so you want to get the lands on that you need right away. So, but it works out pretty good. It's a decent balance. So yeah, a funky deck. I hope you enjoy it. It's something kind of different, offbeat. But you'll see in my games, I just played 4 games in a row and won them all. They were all pretty darn close. But this thing is surprisingly resilient. So yeah, it's got a little bit of lifelink in it. Complexities like pulling out a Hydra's Growth and throwing it on Lurrus or something like that can really just kind of take the steam out of the opponent. I've even put Hydra's Growth on Hateful Eidolon. So yeah, it's a fabulous deck, kind of fun. If you have the cards, throw it together, take it for a spin. It's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, and hey, please hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and have a great day. So we'll be able to play Mire's Grasp if they put something on. We have Lurrus to get it back. It draws us a card, which is great. Okay, let's see. We'll definitely get rid of Swarm Shambler here because we can bring it right back with Luris. Which we're not going to do yet. Well, frankly, why not? Okay, so I believe, let's see, we'll go Scoot next turn. Unless they bring something on that we can take off with Myers Grasp, then we'll bring on... Well, we can't even do that in one turn, so okay, we're gonna give up a land. Okay, they're giving us a very hard time here. Okay, this is fabulous right here. Problem is Liliana and Steward. We'll have to give up the land, which is okay. We'll just stay put. Well, that's a pain. I'm expecting to see Turgid here. So we want to get... wow, they didn't click Liliana's Steward, which is simply incredible. So now we can do some stuff here. And they'll click it now. And so we'll put up the Scoot Shambler. Okay, and no attacks. Okay, that was what we were worried about, and that's why they've been holding off with the Steward. So they're going to get Revenge of the Ravens, which is going to be a major loss for us. Wow, this is the first time that I've had to endure Turgid across the board. Let's see here. I think I'm going to just go ahead and take out one of the insect tokens. See what we get. Okay, this is great. And now we'll get rid of Turgid. And then we'll get rid of this stupid thing. There we go. And now we'll come in with everything. Well, that was stupid. Thank goodness for Luris. Forgot they had stolen my Revenge of the Ravens. And yeah, we'll discard a card here. I actually should have sacrificed an insect. Okay. We've got a ton of Scoot Swarms, but we got nothing to do with them. So we'll just make Shambler big, and we'll come in with Luris, which nets us a gain here. They lose 2, we gain 2. Okay, they are coming at us here. And we'll discard a card. Can't sacrifice a non... Oh, it's got to be a permanent. Darn. But yeah, we'll get rid of Eidolon, I guess. Oh no, it's just... I guess the token counts. Okay, this is good news. And this could be some handy life gain. All right. Just Luris for some net gain here. And it's great that we have Soul Shatter, but they may have discard. I'm thankful we got rid of Turgid, that's for sure. I'm sure there's another one in here somewhere. Really don't have one in hand, though. And honestly, the Scoot Swarms aren't helping us at all. Okay, so we're going to throw up an Eidolon. We're going to get to draw a couple cards here, which is just fabulous. Okay, it's not going to hurt my feelings to get more Scoots on the board. We can sacrifice them as needed, taking no damage from Turgid. If they get another, from rather the Lantern, and if we get another Turgid on the board, yeah, they see that another Turgid isn't going to help them because we could just discard the tokens, and Turgid can't possess them. So, okay, I feel like we got lucky there after having such ill fate early. We can get Eidolon right on the board, though. We're one land away from being able to use either Soul Shatter or Hydra's Growth. We pick up a Revenge the Ravens. Okay. Not much we can do there. Not real sure why they're doing that. Okay, because they had another Death Touch creature. We may see poison here. They have the snow lands up. Well, not strange mix of lands, it seems. They give up a creature. Interesting. Okay, we're not that upset by that because we do have other options like call it Death Dweller and eventually Luris. And the question is, do I want to use Soul Shatter at this time? And I think not. We're hoping for another land. A black would be ideal. Okay, that's not good news, but we can take it out immediately. Okay, that's great. That hurts them a bit, and we get the black mana, which is fabulous. You know, we're going to throw up Revenge of the Ravens right here. It's because they'll probably have more Hooded Blightfangs. I'm sure it's a deck thick with Hooded Blightfangs, so we're going to give them some reason to not be doing that. Okay, and here we go. Takes out a little bit of the sting. We're getting great land here, and let's see, at this point, Eidolon could come on. I think we're going to throw up Clackbridge. They do not want to give up Hooded Blightfang. They don't want a Scanning Life. They've got a dilemma. They know I'm not going to block them, but I'm going to come right in here. He's got Trample, so this is, I think, a good trade here. And if we get the Massacre Worm, we're one land away, either color, to go in there and do some damage. Take out those goats. Okay, they've got their own Call of the Death Dweller. And that's going to hurt a little bit. Fortunately, Revenge of the Ravens takes a little bit of the sting out. It is going to be peeling them back because they don't have any life gain at this point. Alright, so let's see, we have 6 lands, so 3, 4, okay. So yeah, we'll go Luris. Put up Eidolon. And we can just keep using Eidolon to block, and although Cheville drops the coin on Luris, which we're not going to be using him to block, so but they may have a kill spell here. But probably should have put it on Eidolon, being the more obvious blocker. Oh, I got a double block. He's got Menace, okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Well, I think what it's time to do here is pump up Eidolon. Take the eyes off of Luris a little bit. And we can use Luris to block. And we may just go ahead and double block Hooded Blightfang. Okay, that hurts pretty bad. Yeah, it's a big hit having them bring on a lifelink creature. Okay, so we will use Call of the Death Dweller, bring Luris out. Luris now has Death Touch. But they've got Flyers. Yeah, we're going to come on in with the Eidolon. Okay, I'm glad to get rid of that. I'm sad to lose the potential for growth here. Okay, this is great. Out goes that flyer. Next turn we'll get Eidolon. Okay, really good battle here, as attacking is not really to their advantage with Revenge of the Ravens on. Yeah, that's fine. No damage to us, actually just hurts themselves. And we're getting totally screwed with land here, which really sucks. 18 cards, 10 lands. Well, we bring Eidolon up, and he's a blocker, and we can just keep regenerating him. So really, they're going to lose when they attack, unless they bring on something of consequence, like a Hooded Blightfang, which we've got a couple of them in the graveyard. No attacks, of course. And these guys will get Death Touch next turn. Nothing with lifelink, so they can attack, but it really is not wise. Because I don't lose anything and they lose a life. Okay, that's a nice card to get now. And we're going to keep this a mystery and come in with Eidolon, because he's replaceable. Let it through. Okay, I love it. Sarolf is growing. So I can remove counters from him. I'm not removing any of them because I want to go after a bigger prey. Okay, that's interesting. And Eidolon will come up. Okay, we do gain a life though. And they lost a creature which puts a counter on, so this is not going to work out well for them. And we've got two now, and they see the handwriting on the wall. If they'd gotten a Blightfang, they could have done some damage, but yeah, not bad. Looking for more land, black preferably. Okay, no complaints there. We'll just sit on this. Okay, we're just going to have to get rid of Bootnipper there. And because we need a land, we're actually going to sacrifice the Eidolon. Hoping we get a land so we can play Binding of Old Gods. We do get one, we'll bring green out. We're hoping that we aren't able to mutate here. As they gain life, we lose life. And here we go. The good news with the mutate is that we can kill with the binding, and you know they're losing multiple cards here. But this has been stinging a bit. And that had to hurt them a bit. We'll gain a life back, they'll lose one. We do have village rights right there. Okay, that's kind of good news, although it brings bad news. We can ditch it with Massacre Worm. Good God. Okay, divide into 2 piles. The top pile will be face down. Okay. We're looking for a land here. Okay, we get land. We'll get more land. Okay, and so at this juncture we can go ahead and toss up Massacre Worm. With that, they'll have their own Massacre Worm. But it can't hurt mine. But it will be able to hurt Scoot Swarm, so we won't be able to play Scoot. Okay, so now I think we're just going to go absolutely hog wild here. And we'll toss up the Ravens. So we got a big deadly creature there, and it's going to continue to grow. That sucks. Okay. Getting flooded with lands here. Nine lands in 20 cards, a little bit high. Okay, we have our hands full here. Wow, this is brutal. Okay, so can't play both. We're going to bring on Blackbridge. Because if we survive this turn, we can play the worm and they'll lose a bunch of life. If they do not sacrifice a goat, then we will block, if able, if they don't take me out. Okay. They knew that I couldn't attack, so okay. Life is reasonably good here. Let me count up. We got 9, so we actually have enough to run Soul Shatter. And get rid of the mutated creature. Hoping they don't have a trick up their sleeve here. Okay, this is good news because it's going to really hurt them. Losing 6 life, which Revenge of the Ravens could be the determining factor here. And they've got a major problem now, as I can come in with the troll. They lose 2 more and it's game over. Oh, it is not game over, folks. But, in fact, it practically is here. Having a hard way seeing any way out for them, as they have 2 life and we have Revenge of the Ravens and we have 2 devastating creatures here. Not really much you can do. They've got 1 blocker, but it just is not going to help, folks. I'm not seeing the way this isn't game here. It is game. Alright, we endure again.